The morning sun reflected off the hood of a broken black Mercedes on a quiet roadside. A man in oil-stained coveralls knelt beside it, tightening a bolt with practiced hands. Steady, unhurried. The driver, a woman in heels and a tailored suit, watched in disbelief as the mechanic worked silently, never asking for her name. When the engine roared back to life, he simply nodded and said, "No charge." She blinked, confused. Stay, because 3 days later their worlds would collide in the most unexpected way. Daniel Carter, 38 years old, lived a life most would call unremarkable. A single father, a former engineer who traded blueprints for brake pads, a man who rose before dawn to pack his daughter's lunch and fell asleep beside her empty cereal bowl at night. His hands, scarred and calloused, told stories of survival, not success. That Tuesday morning, he was driving Lily to school when he spotted it. A sleek black Mercedes pulled halfway onto the shoulder, hazard lights blinking weakly. Daniel slowed. Lily glanced up from her book. "Dad, we're going to be late." "Won't take long," he said, pulling over. The woman standing beside the car looked expensive. Tailored navy suit, heels that could have paid his rent. She held her phone like a weapon, her expression sharp with frustration. Daniel approached slowly. "Need help?" She looked him up and down, oil-stained coveralls, worn boots, grease under his nails, and hesitated. "My driver's unavailable." The engine just stopped. He didn't wait for permission, popped the hood, checked the connections, tightened a loose alternator belt. 3 minutes, maybe 4. "Try it now." The woman slid into the driver's seat, turned the key. The engine purred. She stared at the dashboard like it had betrayed her, then looked back at him through the windshield, eyes wide, uncertain. Daniel closed the hood, wiped his hands on a rag. She stepped out. "How much do I—" "No charge." "Excuse me?" "My daughter's waiting for breakfast." He nodded toward his truck where Lily waved through the window. "That's enough motivation." The woman blinked. I insist. Let me—" "Really, it's fine." Daniel smiled, soft, genuine. "Drive safe." He turned and walked back to his truck. She stood there, frozen, watching him lift Lily into the passenger seat. The girl laughed at something he said. The truck rumbled to life, old and loud, and pulled away. Victoria Hayes, CEO of Hayes Innovations, stared at the empty road. She was used to control, luxury, people serving her out of obligation, ambition, fear, not kindness, never just kindness. She climbed back into her Mercedes, adjusted the mirror. Through it, she caught one last glimpse of that old truck disappearing around the bend. Something in her chest tightened, unfamiliar, unwelcome. She drove to the office in silence, but her mind was elsewhere, somewhere on a quiet roadside, where a man in coveralls had fixed her car and asked for nothing in return. 3 days later, Daniel received an email. Subject line, "Personal invitation, Hayes Innovations." He frowned. Spam? He almost deleted it, but then he saw the signature. Victoria Hayes, CEO, the woman from the roadside. Lily leaned over his shoulder. "What's that?" "Not sure." He opened it. The message was brief, professional, but strange. "Mr. Carter, I'd like to discuss an opportunity. Please visit our headquarters this Friday at 2 p.m. VH, Lily grinned. "You're famous, Dad." "And I'm confused." But curiosity won. Friday afternoon, Daniel stood in the gleaming lobby of Hayes Innovations, feeling wildly out of place. Marble floors, glass walls, people in sharp suits gliding past like they owned time itself. "Mr. Carter?" He turned. Victoria Hayes stood before him, polished and poised, but her smile was softer than he remembered. "Ms. Hayes." "Victoria, please." She gestured toward the elevator. "Thank you for coming." They rode up in silence. Her office was on the 32nd floor, floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the city, minimalist furniture, a desk that looked like it cost more than his car. She sat. He didn't. "I'll be direct," she said. "I need a personal vehicle engineer, someone who understands machines but also people. You fixed my car in 10 minutes. My team couldn't in 3 hours. I value that." Daniel blinked. "You want to hire me?" "Yes." "Why?" "Because you didn't ask for anything." She leaned forward, eyes steady. "That's rare." He hesitated. I appreciate it, but I've got Lily to think about. My hours are complicated. Bring her. What? Bring her. After school. Weekends if needed. I'll make it work. Victoria's voice softened. I'm not asking you to abandon your life, Daniel. I'm asking you to expand it. He studied her, this woman who had everything, offering him a chance at something more, something stable. Okay, he said quietly. I'll try it. Over the following weeks, Daniel settled into the role. He worked in a private garage beneath the building, maintaining Victoria's fleet of vehicles. The pay was generous, the hours flexible, and Lily, she thrived. She'd arrive after school, backpack bouncing, and charm everyone she met. The security guards saved her cookies. The receptionist asked about her drawings. And Victoria? Victoria started joining them for lunch. At first it was awkward, formal, but Lily had a way of melting walls. Do you have kids? Lily asked one day, mid-sandwich. Victoria paused. No. Why not? Lily, Daniel started, but Victoria raised a hand. It's okay. She looked at the girl, something sad flickering across her face. I never found the time. Lily frowned. That's silly. You can make time for important stuff. Victoria smiled, but it didn't reach her eyes. You're right. Days turned into weeks. Victoria found herself looking forward to their lunch breaks. The simplicity of sandwiches and laughter, the way Lily talked about her day without filters, the way Daniel listened with his whole heart. It was so different from board meetings and shareholder calls. It was real. One afternoon, Lily brought her sketchbook. Want to see my drawings? Victoria nodded, genuinely curious. Page after page of houses, families, dogs. Then one that made her pause. A stick-figure woman in heels holding hands with a man in coveralls and a little girl between them. Who's this? Victoria asked softly. Lily looked up, innocent. People who belong together. One evening, after Lily fell asleep on the break room couch, Daniel found Victoria standing by the window, staring at the city lights. She's got your heart, Victoria said softly. She's got my everything. He joined her at the window. You okay? She didn't answer right away. Then, my father built this company. I only inherited his pressure. Daniel nodded slowly. Pressure's not legacy. What you build with your heart is. Victoria turned to him, eyes glistening. I don't know if I have much heart left. You do, he said simply. I've seen it. She looked away, but not before he saw the tear slip down her cheek. Keep watching, because soon one decision will test everything they've built together. It started with whispers, boardroom glances, emails marked confidential. The CEO is spending too much time with the mechanic. Unprofessional? A liability. Victoria ignored them until the audit. An internal review flagged Daniel's resume. No college degree, no formal certifications. The board convened. Their message was clear. Terminate him or risk the company's reputation. Victoria fought back, hard. He's the most skilled engineer we have. He's a mechanic, one board member sneered, and you're making us look weak. He's a father, a good man. And that, another said coldly, is not our concern. The vote was unanimous. Daniel had to go. Victoria slammed her hands on the table. Then you'll have my resignation too. The room went silent. Victoria, the chairman said carefully, don't be rash. I'm not. She stood, gathering her things. I'm being clear. You want me to fire someone for being good at his job? For being decent? Then this isn't the company I thought it was. She walked out, but the damage was done. Daniel heard the rumors, saw the stares. He wasn't stupid. That Friday, he walked into Victoria's office and placed his resignation letter on her desk. What is this? She whispered, voice breaking. I'm not going to ruin what you've built. He looked at her, really looked, and his heart ached. You've done enough for us. Daniel, no. It's done, Victoria. His voice was steady, but his eyes weren't. I won't let you lose everything for me. You don't understand. You're not. I do understand. He stepped closer. You're going to be fine. You always are. He left before she could argue, before he could see her crumble. That night, Lily overheard him on the phone, telling a friend he'd quit. She stood in the hallway, tears streaming. Why can't good people just be enough? She whispered. Daniel pulled her close, but he had no answer. He just held her while she cried, his own tears falling silently into her hair. Hours later, a knock echoed through the house. Daniel opened the door, and there stood Victoria, soaked from the rain, mascara smudged, chest heaving. You said you fix what's broken, she said, voice trembling. So fix this. Us. He stared, stunned. Rain dripped from her hair, her coat. She looked nothing like the CEO who commanded boardrooms. She looked human, vulnerable, real. Victoria, I don't care what they think, she said fiercely. I care what I think. And I think you're the first real thing I've had in years. Daniel stepped forward, rain soaking his shirt. Then you'll have to meet me halfway. She grabbed his hand, squeezing tight. I'm already here. Behind them, Lily peeked through the doorway, grinning through her tears. 6 months later, the city buzzed with news. Victoria Hayes had stepped down as CEO to launch something new. The Carter Initiative, a foundation supporting single parents in trades, offering training, resources, and hope. The opening day was bright, crowded, cameras flashed. Reporters shouted questions, but Victoria's eyes searched only for 2 people in the crowd. Daniel stood near the back, Lily beside him, both dressed in their best. When their eyes met, Victoria smiled. The kind of smile that said, thank you and I'm home all at once. She stepped to the podium. This foundation isn't about me, she began, voice steady. It's about people like Daniel Carter, people who rebuild, who persevere, who teach us what real strength looks like. She paused, emotion flickering. I spent years chasing success, building empires, proving myself to people who never really saw me. It took a man on a roadside to teach me what it actually means to be successful, to be kind, to be present, to be real. The crowd erupted in applause. Lily jumped, clapping wildly. Daniel just watched Victoria, heart full, eyes wet. Victoria continued, her voice growing stronger. My father taught me that legacy is measured in quarterly reports and stock prices. But I've learned something different. Legacy is measured in lives changed, in communities lifted, in moments of kindness that ripple outward like stones thrown into still water. This foundation will support single parents who work with their hands, mechanics, electricians, plumbers, carpenters, people who build our world but are often overlooked, people who deserve more than just a paycheck. They deserve respect, opportunity, and someone who believes in them. She looked directly at Daniel. Someone believed in me when I didn't believe in myself. Now it's our turn to pass that forward. The applause grew louder. People stood. Some wiped their eyes. Afterward, as the crowd thinned, Daniel approached, holding something behind his back. What's that? Victoria asked, suspicious but smiling. He grinned, revealing her car keys. Still runs smooth. She laughed, a real, unguarded laugh that came from somewhere deep. So do we. Hey, Lily ran up, waving a rolled paper. I finished the logo. Victoria crouched down, studying the drawing carefully. A heart made of gears, a wrench, and a small handprint in the center. It's perfect, she whispered, eyes wet with happy tears. Lily beamed. Just like us. Daniel helped Victoria stand. She's got a point, you know. We are pretty perfect. We're messy, Victoria corrected, smiling. But we're real. Same thing, he said softly, brushing a strand of hair from her face. Later, as the sun set, the 3 of them sat on the foundation's front steps. Daniel, Victoria, and Lily, sharing a bag of chips and laughing at nothing in particular. Victoria leaned her head on Daniel's shoulder. I never thought I'd find this. What? Family. Her voice was soft, full of wonder. Belonging. He kissed the top of her head gently. You didn't find it. You built it. Lily looked up at them, grinning with chip crumbs on her face. With your heart. Victoria smiled, tears slipping free. But they were good tears. Healing tears. Yeah, with my heart. Daniel wrapped his arm around both of them, pulling them close. The 3 of them sat there as the sky turned orange and pink, surrounded by people celebrating second chances, new beginnings, and the courage it takes to choose love over fear. In that moment, on those steps, they weren't a CEO, a mechanic, and a 10-year-old girl. They were simply a family, built not by blood or obligation, but by choice, kindness, and the willingness to fix what's broken. A reporter approached one last time. "Ms. Hayes, what's next for you?" Victoria looked at Daniel, then at Lily, then back at the reporter. "What's next? More of this. More lunches with people I love. More fixing things that matter. More building with my heart." She paused, squeezing Daniel's hand. "That's the only plan I need." The reporter smiled and walked away. Lily tugged Victoria's sleeve. "Can we get ice cream?" Victoria laughed. "Absolutely." And together, the three of them walked into the warm evening light, leaving behind the cameras, the speeches, the expectations. Just a family, hand in hand, choosing each other over and over again. Subscribe, CTA. If this touching story moved you, subscribe to Sue Stories for more emotional tales of love, hope, and second chances.